Okay, y'all, let me say this very clearly. Your voice matters. Not when you're perfect, not when you get validation from Hollywood, right now. Now, a lot of screenwriters think to themselves, who's going to care about my story? Or everything has already been done. This video is for you. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Professor Tiffany Yancey here, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so when I started in this industry as a screenwriter over 15 years ago, I had no clue what they meant when they said, find your voice. That was something I didn't even know what that meant at that time. All I knew is that I had some ideas and I knew I had to get them down on paper and I wanted to share them with the world. Okay, I just had an idea and I had some stories to tell, which was a great thing because I was very passionate and I knew in my heart and my soul, my first movie, Holiday Heartbreak, was something that was funny, it was unique, and it was different. And I knew that I would have something to say in this particular project. So the issue is that a lot of new screenwriters talk themselves out of writing before they even start. The project's being too small, too personal, too niche, or it's not marketable enough. And so you try to sound like someone else. You try to sound like what Hollywood wants, and that is a no-no. You copy the tone, you chase the trends, and you basically mute yourself, which is the opposite of what executives, producers are looking for. They are looking for unique voices, someone who has something different to say. Okay, so your life experience is what is needed, because basically this industry does not need another watered down version of someone else. It needs you. So when people say find your voice, they make it sound like it's something mysterious, but basically your voice is how you see the world. All right, the stories you feel compelled to tell, the way you experience joy, pain, love, and survival. Your upbringing, your culture, your humor, your trauma, your triumphs, that's not baggage, that's material. Okay, so that's what you bring to the table, and that what makes you different than every other writer out here, is what makes your stories and experience. We all have different experiences. We all been through different trials and tribulations. So you need to put that down on paper and you need to share that, and you'll be surprised at how your experience will relate to your audience and also these executives, because again, nobody wants to hear the same old tired stories over and over again. So here's the hard truth. Hollywood is flooded with well-written scripts, but what gets attention is specificity. The scripts that break through feel honest, they feel personal, they feel like someone had the courage to actually say this. And this is how I see it. And that's what executives, producers, and audiences respond to. They don't remember perfect structure. They only remember how the story made them feel. Let me give you permission to stop asking, is this good enough? And start asking, is this honest? Is this real? Is this authentic? All right, you have to be authentically you. All right, so when I wrote my first movie, Holiday Heartbreak, I knew this was a personal story because it was something that I had a conversation with my father about my love life. And we always are talking about, my love life and who I'm dating and things of that sort. And I just came up with the idea about a father who was a womanizer back in the day, and his womanizing ways came back to haunt his daughter's love life. And this is essentially what the conversation I had with my father when I was talking to him about my love life. And this is what he told me. And I said, wow, that's a really interesting and unique movie idea. I've never seen that before, about a father's love life. His karma basically comes back to haunt his daughter's love life. And I knew that this was something that was new and it was different. And I'd never seen that before on a screen. So I said, you know what? I'm going to write this. I am going to put this down on paper. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm going to figure it out. But at the end of the day, I'm going to write this movie and I'm going to get it into the right hands and it's going to be produced. And it happened. My movie was produced in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, mind you. but it happened. And I knew that I had a voice. I had a story that I wanted to tell, and I was very passionate about it. And I worked very hard to make it come to fruition. So when it comes to you as being a writer, your voice matters. Okay. Don't think that just because you might have seen 10, 20, 30 other movies that are similar to your concept or your idea, what's different is what are you bringing to the table that's going to make that concept different? What are your lived experiences that's going to make your story stand out from those other projects? That is what makes you stand out as a writer, is your voice. You want to bring your own razzle dazzle to your script. Okay, so when you're writing, you got to put your personality down on the page, and your personality needs to shine through with your writing. That is your voice. That is your superpower, y'all. Okay, don't forget that. So when people say find your voice, that's what that is. And do not try to duplicate or copy somebody else's what they call it, your stilo back in the day. I'm dating myself, but you got to bring your own swag, bring your own ideas, your own creativity, and that is going to make you stand out amongst all these other scripts that are flooding the industry. So if nobody has told you lately, like I said again, your voice matters. Write the story you're scared to tell. Write that one that feels personal. Write that one that sounds like you. And if this video helped you, hit that like, subscribe, and share it with another writer who needs this reminder, because somebody is out there waiting to hear your voice. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.